On the serene, well-paved Osabo Drive in Lekki Phase 1, behind the high walls and electric fences, secrets fester like wrought in expensive mahogany. The Abiola residence was one such house, a picture of modern luxury, with its manicured lawn and gleaming cars. Everyone knew the family. Tope, the elegant bank executive, her husband, Deli, the charming. The first sign something was amiss was the sudden disappearance of Mr. Abiola's black Porsche Cayenne from its usual spot in the driveway. Neighbors, like Auntie Beezy from 3 houses down, noted its absence with the sharp curiosity endemic to the Lekki elite. Dammy, the elder daughter at 17, began wearing long-sleeved shirts even in the sweltering Lagos heat, her eyes perpetually downcast. 15-year-old Lola's vibrant laughter, once a familiar sound echoing from their compound, was completely extinguished. Their mother, Tope, was a ghost in her own home, her presence marked by the briefcase she dropped by the door at 10 p.m. and the one she picked up again by 6 a.m. Her high-stakes role as an executive director at a flagship bank on Victoria Island consumed every waking moment, leaving a void in her home, a void her husband had filled with unspeakable horror. For years, Deli's method was chillingly simple. He would wait for Tope's late-night calls announcing another emergency meeting. A special bedtime tea, laced with a potent sedative, was his key to violating his own daughter's innocence. They would wake up hours later, groggy and violated, their bodies aching with a shame they were too young and terrified to articulate. The man who was supposed to be their protector was their prime predator, and their mother, their potential savior, was always absent. The carefully constructed facade of the perfect Lekki family was cracking. The pressure of the hidden truth was building, a geyser of pain ready to erupt and drench everyone in its scandalous spray. Auntie Beezy's gossip was about to seem like child's play. Tope's suspicion did not arrive as a thunderclap, but as a slow, dripping tap of unease. It started with a forgotten report, forcing her to turn her Mercedes back home one Tuesday evening. She found the house eerily silent, the girls already asleep in their rooms at 8:30 p.m., a fact that felt wrong. Deli was in the living room, a picture of relaxed innocence, but his eyes held a flicker of something panicked, hastily concealed. A cold finger of doubt traced its way down Tope's spine. The evidence mounted in subtle ways. She began to notice how Lola would physically flinch if Deli moved too suddenly near her. Dammy started locking her bedroom door, a new and alarming habit. When Tope tried to broach the subject with them, asking if anything was wrong, they both clammed up, their eyes wide with a fear that spoke volumes, yet said nothing. The vibrant, confident young women were being replaced by silent, anxious shadows. Her banker's mind, trained to detect the slightest discrepancy in a financial statement, began applying the same scrutiny to her home life. The late nights, the deep, unnatural sleep they always seemed to be in when she returned. It was a pattern. One night, lying beside Deli, listening to his steady breathing, she made a decision. The annual bank audit was coming up. She would tell her team she was unwell, take a rare personal day, and come home early. She had built her life on facts and figures, on cold, hard logic. She needed to know the truth, no matter how much it would destroy her. Soon, she would be confronted with a truth so emotionally devastating it would threaten to obliterate her very existence. The hunter was about to become the hunted, and the prey were her own children. The day of reckoning was overcast, the humid Lagos air thick with impending rain. Tope left the bank at 4 p.m., a move so unprecedented her assistant stared in open-mouthed surprise. The traffic on the Lekki Ape Expressway was its usual chaotic self, but today, every honk and delay felt like a personal torment. She pulled into her driveway, her heart hammering against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat of fear. The house was quiet, but not empty. Deli's car was there. She used her keys silently, stepping into the cool, air-conditioned foyer. She moved on autopilot, her Prada heels soundless on the plush staircase carpet. The door to Dammy's room was slightly ajar. The scene she witnessed through that crack would be forever burned onto the back of her eyelids. Deli, her husband, was on her daughter's bed, his body a grotesque silhouette against the dim light. This was not a misunderstanding, not a misinterpretation. It was a violation of the most fundamental trust, a sin so profound it defied language. Her body moved before her mind could process the horror. Deli scrambled back, his face a mask of sheer, unadulterated terror. Dammy, sobbing and trembling, pulled the sheets around her, trying to become small, to disappear. The look in her eyes, a mixture of shame, relief, and utter devastation, shattered Taupe completely. In that instant, the elegant bank executive vanished, replaced by a raw, vengeful mother. The carefully curated life of Taupe Abiola was over. The ensuing confrontation was not a shouting match. It was a cold, brutal transaction conducted in hissed whispers in the master bedroom, away from the traumatized girls. Instead, he offered a twisted, monstrous justification. You were never here, Taupe. Taupe felt the world tilt on its axis. His audacity was breathtaking. Her success, the very thing that provided their lavish lifestyle in one of Lekki's most expensive estates, was now being weaponized as an excuse for his depravity. Rage, cold and sharp, replaced her initial shock. You are a monster, she whispered, her voice trembling with a fury so potent it felt lethal. His response was even more chilling. She made a decision that would haunt her forever: containment. She watched him pack, feeling numb as he drove away, escaping justice yet again. It was not justice. It was a desperate, shameful survival tactic. As his taillights disappeared down Fola Osabo Drive, Taupe slid down the wall and wept. Not for the man who left,